Davi-tech-media. Subscribe to Davi-tech-media. Davi-tech-media. Subscribe to Davi-tech-media.
Thank you. All of you know, and this is what we're going to be talking about today, because I know this is a very controversial issue. Phone booths in Lusaka, they are everywhere. They are ubiquitous. Do you know what the word ubiquitous means? If anybody in the comments, tell me in the comments below if you know what the word ubiquitous means. Go ahead and Google it, because, you know, that's how we learn. Imagine how smarter we are with our cell phones. So if you're going to sit there and Google it, there's no shame. You're seeking knowledge. Tell me in the comments what ubiquitous means. Phone booths in the city of Lusaka are ubiquitous. Tell me in the comments so that I highlight your comment if you're correct. And this is what we're talking about today, guys. And I know it's a very thorny, it's a very controversial, it's a very touchy issue, but it's an issue that we have to talk about. We have to meet head on. We have to deal with. We have to grab this bull by the horns and wrestle it to the ground, contain it, and regulate it. That's what we need to do. Bo Allen, and this is the best way to say this, ubiquitous, fiani, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Fiani in my language means grass. And the word ubiquitous means plenteous. They're everywhere. Every turn, every time you're walking down the street, each time you're driving through the CBD, you will find these booths, these contraptions, these rectangular traps, as it were, spread out across the city of Lusaka, and they are ubiquitous. Now, in the last couple of days, there has been an exercise, an effort by Lusaka City Council to remove a good number of these booths. And before I continue, let me hasten to add here that one of the challenges that faces our local authority, there are many, but one of the challenges they face on a regular basis is that Lusaka City Council, unfortunately, they allow a situation to get out of control. And then when they see that this situation is bad, it's too much, it's unattainable, it's uncontainable, that's when they move in. And then they make sweeping statements and they take sweeping actions. That's not the way to run a city. The way to run a city is that you see a problem and you deal with it there and then. You do not allow a problem to grow out of control and then attempt to control it or contain it. Are you with me? Are you listening to what I'm saying to you today? Please tell me in the comments below if that resonates. I'm going to say that again. You do not allow a situation to grow, to mushroom, to morph out of control, and then at some stage you decide, oh, I think Chachiramo, can we move in so that we control the situation? You allow 50,000 booths to accumulate. And then one day you wake up as the council, no, I think my booths yapakisa. Buana yapakisa. Move in. You cause a problem there, mate. What you're supposed to do is from the beginning, you control, you regulate, you lead the narrative. Let me give you some history. And I pointed this out earlier in my earlier post. And I know what I'm talking about because, guys, let me give you some context. I've been here in the CBD, to be very frank and honest with you, for those of you that know history, Simoson Building opened this part of town in terms of business. You remember back in the 80s, this side of town was considered the outskirts of town. In fact, this part of town it was viewed the way we now view the industrial area. In the 80s, the 70s, the 80s, the place to be was Cairo Road. If you came to this part of town, City Market, we came here before, Simoson. We were here before City Market. City Market was built in 1994. So I'm saying that to tell you that I know the ecosystem of this area. I've been here for 33 years. I know this place like the back of my hand. So I know what I'm talking about when I talk to you about this subject. Let me give you some history. You see, during the PF, the Patriotic Front, and I affectionately refer to them as the notorious Patriotic Front because they were.
Subscribe to Davi-tech-media. Davi-tech-media. Subscribe to Davi-tech-media.